What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. My name is Jaclyn Kula, and we have Jays versus Rays recap coming up right now. My last few episodes have been interviews, so haven't gotten to talk too much about the Jays. Peter King and I talked mainly about the NFL. Adnan Virk and I talked about baseball, hockey, and a lot about movies as well. So I missed some recaps here. So I think before I do Jays Rays, I think I should touch on some Jays Angels. I know that feels like a million years ago, but that was the latest series here in Toronto. I went to game one of that series, actually, where Dylan Cease was phenomenal, and I will be talking more about Dylan Cease in this episode as well. Ahead of this game, we found out that the Blue Jays are finally, or not even the Jays, Rogers Center is capitalizing on Kazuma Okamoto's recent home run success. He revealed that he's been eating a lot of quesadillas. So what did Rogers Center do? They made the Kaz-adilla. I have not had it yet, but I will need to try it. But yeah, so I was at game one of the Angels Jays. The Jays won 2-0. Really couldn't hit whatsoever, but thankfully Dylan Cease is the absolute best. 10 strikeouts, 7 innings, just 5 hits, no runs. Pretty terrific stuff. At that game too, I feel like this is kind of old news, so I'm just going to kind of scrape by it quickly. Alek Manoah made his return to Toronto for the first time. Some boos, some cheers. Some people just honestly didn't really care. So that was just kind of the vibe there. Game two of this series, we saw Barger came back, which we know did not last very long at all. Pinongo was then optioned, who's now back as well. As I said, feel like we missed a lot in just a week. It hasn't even been a week since this game. But he was optioned, not Schneider. A lot of it was due to too many lefties on the team. If Schneider was a lefty, it'd be a different story. But because Pinongo is a lefty and Barger is, that felt like the right choice at the time. In this game, game two, so anyways, the Jays won this game 14-1. Trey Savage was absolutely spectacular. We see Addison Barger in the outfield make one of the greatest throws you will ever see. He caught in the outfield and threw it all the way home to Valenzuela. Beautiful out, got the runner out at home. He seemed fine, and then we found out later that he had elbow inflammation, and he has not played since. So not great, but that was definitely a highlight of this early season so far. Trey Savage was fantastic. The Jays had 20 hits, 14 runs. It was just one of those games. Home runs from Ernie, Valenzuela, Sanchez, Erndog went 5 for 5, including the home run. Pretty spectacular stuff. I was not at this game, I was watching on TV, and it was just a fun time. Valenzuela went 4 for 5. I want to talk more about Valenzuela, or you know what? I'm going to talk about Valenzuela now before I kind of get into the Jays Rays. But we are seeing Heineman and Valenzuela kind of take turns as catcher, and we all know that when Alejandro Kirk is back, he's the starting catcher, right? He is one of the best catchers in MLB. It's a huge loss not to have him on the team. So with him out, it's been Heineman versus Valenzuela. I think a lot of people will agree with me that Valenzuela deserves to have that backup spot once Kirk is back, and Heineman should be, I don't know, sent down to the minors, traded, whatever it is, because we have seen a lot of disappointment from Heineman and a lot of great stuff from Valenzuela, not just on offense, but his defense has been amazing. He's made some pretty good throws, not great. Like, listen, he's not Alejandro Kirk, but he's been making some great throws, and he was kind of brought up out of nowhere, and he's really impressed so far. So yeah, in that game, he went 4 for 5, including 4 RBIs and a home run. So he has been terrific. And then game 3 of that series, the Angels won 6-1. It wasn't great. Barger was taken out of the lineup actually after it was released. You know, you see the lineup, and they're like, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, Barger is not in the game anymore. And then we find out why. Spencer Miles opened the game. Terrific stuff. We then see Eric Lauer come in. I know he had a bit of a problem not starting games, but there's a reason so that he doesn't have to face the top of the order more times than he has to. Spencer Miles, honestly, they should have kept him in. He was pretty spectacular in the opening. Anyways, they brought in Lauer, and he was not good, to say the least. He came in the 5th inning, and it was just it was bad stuff. 5 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, including 2 home runs. After this game, everyone wanted Lauer out. We then found out that Eric Lauer was sent down to Buffalo. Yariel Rodriguez, who everyone should know if you've been following this podcast for the past year, was one of the top relievers of the Jays last season. He is now back on the team. But yeah, Lauer has just been, other than maybe his first start of the season, he has been pretty bad. making bad comments as well. Just the connection he has with the team just isn't all there. So they sent him down, and we'll see what kind of goes on after that with Eric Lauer. But yes, he is no longer a Blue Jay. As I said before, Spencer Miles was terrific. 3 innings, just 2 hits. Nance came in for 1 perfect inning as well. Honestly, if I'm going to put someone in for a longer game, I'd rather have Spencer Miles over an Eric Lauer, genuinely. So that it was the series. Jays won the series. It was exciting, but it's also the Angels who just are struggling a lot, and they're just not a good team at all. But that was, after that series was when Rodriguez came back, Lauer was sent down, Barger, it was revealed that he had the elbow inflammation. It was on the 10-day IL, and that Pinango was back. All right, now let's get to, I just dropped all my notes. Now let's get to the Jays versus Rays series. So everyone knows Rays are the hottest team in baseball right now. They're the best team in the AL. No one saw this coming. Every analyst, all the predictions of this offseason were, the Jays are going to be great. The Red Sox are going to be great. The Orioles are going to be great. The Yankees are going to be great. No one talked about the Rays at all. Last time the Jays played the Rays was it a week or 2, 10 days ago? I don't know. In Tampa Bay, and they got swept and was ugly. So going into this series, we don't want to see the Jays get swept. That's what we wanted to see. This series was don't get swept. Game 1, the Rays won 8-6. Gosman got the start. He did not have his best stuff at all. He did reach a milestone, 2,000 strikes, so that was pretty terrific. But he went he went under 5 full innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. Shout out though to Andres Jimenez. If you would have told me that he'd be the star of this team 2 months ago, I'd say you're freaking crazy. But Jimenez has been terrific, offense and defense. He has been a really reliable guy. In this game, he was really the only one who did anything at all. 2 home runs in this game, 5 RBIs. The Jays really had a chance of making a comeback in this game, but they ended up still losing it in the end. Vladdy, I'm going to touch on a little bit more after, but he has been really struggling. A lot of groundouts. But yeah, that's kind of how game 1 went. Game 2, another, interesting game that got interesting, I guess, a little bit later on in the game. The Rays were really hot to start off. 5-0. One of the runs actually came from a wild pitch that hit the umpire. Like, you can't make this stuff up. It was just unlucky stuff happening over and over again. While down 5-0, the Jays made comeback in the 7th inning. Ernie single, Jesus Sanchez hit an RBI double that then sent Ernie home. Then Valenzuela got a walk and Sanchez gets to 3rd. Then Springer hit a single that sent Sanchez home and Valenzuela to 2nd. Then Pinango, the man who was just brought up, hit a 2-run RBI that sent Springer and Valenzuela home. Then Vladdy reached first on an error that got Pinango home and tied the game 5-5. That was a lot that I just said there. Pinango has really impressed us all, so I'm very happy to see. Vladdy did get on base, and it was an RBI, but he has not been impressive. Anyways, got to 5-5. Exciting stuff. The Jays were alive again, but then Braden Fisher comes in the game and kind of just blows it in extra innings. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. It went to extra innings. The Rays ended up winning 7-6 in the 10th. So tough one to lose, but we're really seeing the glimpses of the comeback kids, the comeback kings that we were used to last season. So we're getting there. And then game 3, which was last night, I was at the game, so you already know what happened. I have been, since 2025, I've been to 18 games, and I am 17-1 at these games. So Jays, come on. Bring me to games. Only one loss, which is when Scherzer just had a terrible game. It was a Junior J Sunday game, and it was bad. But other than that, they only win. Last night's game was incredible. If you missed it, I'm sorry. If you turned it off early, I honestly wouldn't be shocked because a lot of people I saw leave early, and I don't love that at all. But anyways, it's also the first ever extra inning game I've been to that I remember. Maybe 10 years ago I was at an extra inning game, but genuinely, at least in the past year and a bit, I've not been to an extra inning game, so that was a first. Let's talk about this game. Dylan Cease, everybody. As I said last week, I was at that game. Funny, yeah, I'm at all the Dylan Cease games. I love it. I'm very happy about that. But Dylan Cease was spectacular last week, and he was spectacular last night. 7 innings, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run, also 9 strikeouts. Cy Young candidate? Cy Young candidate question mark? Yes, 100%. He has been absolutely spectacular. And remember, everyone said, oh, the Jays are overpaying. Who's Dylan Cease? Padres fans were, good luck, Jays. You guys are getting Dylan Cease. Really? Really? You miss him now. Oh, yes. Padres fans are missing him now. He has 2.41 ERA with 75 strikeouts. 75 strikeouts is the second most in the MLB. Unbelievable stuff that we are seeing from Dylan Cease. That is an ace. Like, going to the season, he was maybe going to be our third option, right? Savage, Gausman, whatever. This is a superstar. What we've seen from Dylan Cease is superstar stuff. So let's talk about the game. For the most part of this game, Jays cannot hit anything. It was pretty tough. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. is hitting way too many groundouts. And listen, he's walking a lot. And he's hitting singles. Like, I'm not discrediting that he's getting on base. And that is what you want from a baseball player. But he's the $400 million man. Sorry, $500 million for 14 years. We expect something like this from, like an Ernie or a Schneider or a Valenzuela, right? Like, get on base, that's what we want from any baseball player. But with Vladdy, we're expecting more. Vladdy, and remember, I'm filming this on May the 14th, and Vladdy just has 2 home runs. Valenzuela has 4 home runs, okay? Take that in. That Brandon Valenzuela has 4 home runs, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has just 2. It's not great. Am I worried? I talked about this with Adnan Verk last week, and he gave me a really good point that Albert Pujols actually told him. So go back and watch it. I'm not going to even say it here. You can go back. I'm just kidding. But yeah, pretty much just saying that Vladdy is someone who will get you on base, and you have to take your time too, because watching last season, Vladdy was a bit of a disappointment during the season, but we saw other guys step up. We saw Springer step up, Bo stepped up, obviously, Ernie step up. The problem is that no one's really stepping up now, but Vladdy came alive when it mattered the most in the postseason. The problem about right now is that the Jays aren't playing like a postseason team. They weren't at this time last year either, but we're expecting a little bit more. Vladdy, I think, had 8 home runs at this time last year. 2 home runs is not acceptable from the $500 million man. I think it will come. He needs to fix the mechanics, work with David Popkins, figure out what's going on, because Vladdy has that. He has that talent, right? Look at what he did in the postseason. One of the greatest postseason runs you will ever see from a singular player. So, it's concerning, yes, but I think we'll be okay. But yeah, anyways, last night, just the Jays were not playing well at all. And then obviously, Dylan Cease did everything he can. He allowed 1 run. And then that almost could have been game. However, they finally get on base in the 8th inning in Okamoto. Someone else I'm going to talk about, Okamoto hit a sac fly, which was the game-tying run with the bases loaded. Only got 1 run, though, with bases loaded, which is a huge problem with this team, is that they cannot score guys in scoring position at all. But they got the run, and it was tied 1-1. So the pitchers did their jobs, right? Varlin did his job, Tyler Rogers did his job, and then we go to the top of the 10th inning. And who else? Who else is available? Jeff Hoffman. The song comes on, and people start leaving. I don't know if people really left. No, you know what? I was seeing on Twitter people saying people left when Hoffman came in. I think it was after Hoffman did what he did when people left, which I still don't love, but I'll get there. In the 10th inning, Hoffman just wasn't good. Once again, the Rays took a 3-1 lead. That is when people started leaving. Listen, I'm not here to be the baseball police and say you stay until the end of the game. I'm someone who really loves to stay until the end of the game no matter what. I love to see just everything. Like, you're paying a lot of money to go to these games. You might as well enjoy it or just be there, right? Like, use your money wisely. So it went kind of viral that people left before the bottom of the 10th. People have stuff to do. I was kind of complaining about that today with some friends, but it's true. People have stuff to do. You don't know what's going on in someone's life. So let them, maybe they have to wake up at 5 in the morning and they just can't be there for a 10th inning. Okay, that's fine. But just to the people who just leave because they don't want to sit in traffic, come on. Really? Come on. You spent this money. You're at Rogers Center. Great stadium, great baseball happening in front of you. Just stay if you can. Anyway, so obviously we stayed, and the Jays looked cooked though. As I said before, I don't leave until way after the final pitch, the final out. But the Jays are able to load the bases. 2 outs, and it's Varsho. And it's like, look at what the Jays have done all night. Look at what they've done all season. Bases loaded is exciting, but 2 outs is not. And Dalton Varsho on at bat isn't exciting either because of what we've seen from him this season. It's been disappointing. He had an amazing spring training, a terrific spring training, but he has been pretty iffy so far this season. And then the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And, everyone's standing. The vibes still were incredible. I know people did leave, but I think social media is making it seem like the place was empty. It was not empty in the slightest. Okay, everyone's on their feet. Everyone's still like really into this, really excited. So, I still think the Jays can win it. A part of me, though, thinks that Varsho's going to strike out or get a sac fly. Not a sac fly, a pop out. But, still, there's still always a belief. When you love a team this much, there's always a belief of some sort. So, anyways, we're standing there. We watched this pitch. It's a little high up. And Varsho swings it, and that ball just goes and goes and goes and goes and does not stop until it lands in the bullpen where Yariel Rodriguez catches it. Home run, Blue Jays. Grand slam walk-off. Yes, a grand slam walk-off. Only the 5th time that it has happened in franchise history, the first time since 2017. That place, oh my gosh, I kind of blacked out, I think, in the moment because I couldn't believe it. You can't make this up. The Jays are down 3-1. They need to get at least a hit of some sort, but even that may not cut it, right? Hits a home run, walk-off grand slam. Wow, that place was unbelievable. That we all were hugging, screaming, couldn't believe it. You cannot believe it that Dalton Varsho, out of any player, hit the grand slam walk-off. Absolutely incredible vibes. Think back to last season, and there's all these different turning points. Was it the A's series? Was it Bo against Texas? Was it the Canada Day game that I was at too, by the way? Something in me, and something a lot of people are actually saying on social media as well, is that this could be the turning point for the Blue Jays, where it was just a gritty, ugly game, amazing pitching, guys are getting on base but can't score, and when it matters most, a guy like Dalton Varsho steps up and hits a grand slam, walk-off, home run. Something in me, yes, there's some bias, don't get me wrong, but something in me is saying that this is the turning point for this season. Things might just start clicking right now. Guys are going to come up and be like, oh, we can hit the ball? We're allowed to hit home runs? We're allowed to win games against the Tampa Bay Rays? Going into this game, the Jays lost a series, but I was like, you cannot get swept by the Rays again. They own us. Tampa Bay owns Toronto right now. Don't even talk about the Trop. Don't even talk about that. But at home at Rogers Center, you cannot get swept by Tampa Bay. Absolutely incredible stuff, and I do think that this will change the way the season will go. Okay, the Jays are having a tough time this month, this season. The standings, they're 19-24. It's not great. It's not. The Rays are amazing. The Yankees are solid. The Orioles are ahead of the Jays, which is just not okay. Red Sox are coming closer to the Jays. It's a much tougher league, much tougher division than it was a year ago. I believe in this team. I really do. Listen, I said it last year in May, or maybe it was June more. I said the Jays are legit, and people said I was crazy. And look, they were, an out or two away from winning the World Series. They were inches, IKF's foot from winning the World Series. My take again is I think the Jays are going to make the playoffs. They're going to make the postseason, and they're going to go all the way. It's a crazy thing to say. It always is. Last year was a crazy thing to say. This time last year, if you said the Jays were going to win the World Series, what were the odds? I should check that what the odds were, because I'm sure they were not good. So yeah, you look back at last year and it wasn't great either. You look at this year and it's not great, but it will be. Kirk will be back and he's going to be great. Barger just needs to get healthy. First, it's the freaking the 2 sprained ankles. 2, not just 1 sprained ankle, 2 sprained ankles. And then the arm inflammation just isn't great. But he'll be back. And just guys are going to step up. Pinongo, I said, has been amazing. So it really, a lot of it comes down to Vladdy, where he's at the 3 spot, right? He should be the one bringing in runs. Oh, and Okamoto as well, I said, has been spectacular. Fan favorite, obviously. Gotta try the Kaz idea. But yeah, Vladdy just really needs to figure his stuff out. George Springer, we haven't seen great stuff from. I know he's playing with a broken toe, so there's not much you can say about that. He's still getting on base. He's still getting hits. 94 at bats. He has 19 hits, 8 RBIs, and 9 runs. So could be better, but at the same time, he's still recovering from this injury. So I think he will be okay. As I said before, Okamoto has been fantastic. 10 home runs, 27 RBIs. And he's been playing great at third base. He made an amazing grab yesterday. Listen, if I got to pick Okamoto or Boba at third base, I'm picking Okamoto. The Mets they're struggling. And Cal Raleigh, if you guys are watching baseball, you guys know that he didn't have a hit. He was 0 for 36, but he finally has a hit now, which is crazy. And he's actually on the IL now for like the first time ever. So there's just kind of a lot of different stuff going around the league where the Mets, we all expected a lot from the Mets, and they're the worst team in the MLB. And the Rays are the best. And so there's just a lot of parity happening, and the Jays will find their way back. I really do believe that they will find their way back. This is a great organization. John Schneider's an amazing manager, right? The friendship vibes are still there. These guys love each other. Ernie was really struggling yesterday. You saw it on his face every time he walked back to the dugout. But when Varsho hit that grand slam, he was smiling ear to ear. So Jays will be fine. I really do think they will. Dylan Cease, unreal stuff. Savage plays tomorrow night, Friday night. Gosman has been pretty great too. Patrick Corbin has actually been solid as well. We'll have to see what they do now with that extra spot because Scherzer is not back yet. Honestly, just put Spencer Miles in for eight innings. Just do it. He was great for those 3 innings. Why not just roll? Somehow he just played minor ball and a single A ball, and now he's an MLB guy. He's been terrific, so just keep it going, I guess. And I think that's going to do it on today's episode. I think I touched on everything. Yeah, the Jays had their turning point. Varsho's walk-off grand slam. You can't make that stuff up. As I said before, Dylan Cease should be a Cy Young candidate already. Put him with Paul Skeens, sure. Those are the Cy Young winners. Vladdy is struggling. He will get it fixed. He will fix it. He and Popkins will figure it out. Sometimes guys just take a while, and it's just a little longer this year than it was last year. That's the only issue here. Like Bo, as I said before, it takes a while for Bo to kind of get it going, like we saw in recent years. That is what I think we're seeing for Vladdy. And then the other stuff that happened with the team last week with Lauer being sent down, Yariel Rodriguez coming back, making that great catch of Dalton Varsho's home run. Barger's injured, but hopefully back soon. And Pinongo has been great. All right, that is going to do it. Also, shout out to Miles Straw. No one is talking enough about Miles Straw. He's been fantastic at the plate. He has been a great guy on this team. Great hits, great in the outfield, obviously. Getting on base somehow, even in weak hits, in infield singles. He finds a way to get it done in a very gritty way. So shout out to Miles Straw. All right, that is going to do it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.